What's up, Katie? Coming up. Hop. That's my baby. This is my cat. I'm gonna spend a little bit of time talking about her because I just misidentified her because she's not mine. She belongs to no man. She belongs to herself. If she wants to leave, she can. Right, Kitty? Yeah, she showed up one day, man, and it's crazy because somebody told me to get her. Because she was nice. They were like, "See that cat? It's nice. Go get it." I guess they figured I could do it. And yeah, I did. I went and got the cat, brought it inside. It enjoyed looking around. It was very curious. It was happy. I mean, it wasn't like mad. And then it scratched at the door, and I let it out. So, little time went by, and I was outside, and it was raining. I really wasn't thinking about her at the time, even though I always did kind of think about her. Not like I wasn't like, oh, where is she? But it was raining pretty hard, and it was really cold out. And this is around the same time there was all those storms when I found the raccoon. Oh, kitty, so sweet. There's nothing they like more than a scratch on the head. A nice scratch in a place where they can't really reach easily. Oh man, it's like. And let me tell you something else, man. When you're talking about a cat, like, and you're petting a cat, there's ways to pet a cat. They don't want to be just stroked, like, yay, hi cat, and like petted, like, yay. Even though sometimes it feels good for them, the contact feels good for them. What they really want is like strong massaging, you know? And they remind me of some women I know. It's like, uh, can you please just touch me? Please, please, please touch me. It's funny how sometimes you get so accustomed to your life that you start thinking of things that don't really matter. You start putting yourself in situations where you're worried about something that doesn't matter while something that does matter is going on. That's it's always a problem. I've always sought to find those little things that are happening to me, but it's never a guarantee that you're going to. You miss all the time these pitfalls that you place in front of your own self. It's a strange and tragic thing, but you know, I digress. I'm talking about my kitty. That's right. I'm talking about you. You're talking about you. And she's got this scar on her face, man. And when she's serious, you can see it. Normally you can't, but when she's serious, she goes, huh? And the whole side of her face is like jacked up over there, like pushed up to the side. Then when you go and look, it's like, oh, there's a little scar there, and she doesn't have a tooth. One of her teeth is gone. So I don't know, man. Maybe somebody mistreated her. Maybe it was a fight with another cat or something. I don't see how cats can knock each other's teeth out, though. I know they bite each other on the butt. This one here has like a knot back there on her butt. She likes it when I scratch it, but not too much because I think it might start to hurt. Probably she got in a fight with a cat because they always latch onto each other's butts and they bite down. And those two little holes, man, those things, they're no joke. Where the cat puts two little holes in you, you gotta get it cleaned out right away. As if you don't, it starts getting really bad. And they're very interesting creatures. They're not like any other creatures that, I know of. Well, of course, I know of, yeah. But they're just not like any other creatures, man. I mean, the cat. You've got dogs, they're like wolves. You got cats, they're like tigers. And it's canines and felines. I know, I get it. But there's just something about the makeup of a feline that just I don't know, man. It just feels like they're aliens or something. Like they must be some kind of pet for the aliens. Like when the aliens came down here and seeded the earth with people, they also created pets for themselves, and those were cats, you know, dogs and cats. They created them out of wolves and stuff, you know. Like, how do you domesticate a cat? You know, I understand like with a dog because their temperament will allow them to be kind of trapped and trained and all of that. But cats, they're a little different. It's not like you're training a cat. A cat's just learning what happens. There's a cat that's outside that waits for me in the morning, and I think it's a little pissed off because I'm not going to work, so I go out there late and feed the cat, and sometimes it's not even there, and I'm like, oh, cat missed its like little morning meal. It won't come near me. It doesn't let me touch it or anything, but it waits there in the morning for me to bring out some food. That's for damn sure. You know, they just know when they found somebody who likes them, I guess. And then they do as little as possible to get as much as possible from the situation. There's a lot of people that are like that, right? All right, let's talk about unemployment. I applied for unemployment because my shop shut down. Now, my shop is not closed though, and my job is not officially like completely gone. Now, if once all this stops, if the shop can make it through this, which hopefully the bailouts for companies will do that, then I will have a job after this. So I'm not really looking for any kind of full-time work. Although I have looked for some work around me, it's not that imperative for me because I will do unemployment for a couple weeks or a couple months or however long it takes for everything to go back to normal. And that's not something I'm ashamed of because I've literally paid Social Security tax and federal income tax and all that stuff for how long? 20 plus years. I've been doing this for a long time. I've been paying and paying and paying into this system. So I don't mind, and I don't think it's wrong, and I don't see anything wrong with people like myself getting this bailout. People who have been paying in, people who have been, you know, doing their thing. See, I didn't go anywhere else. I've just been here in the United States my whole life. I was born here and raised here, and I haven't left. So, and all my money that I've made has been taxed. So I applied for unemployment, and guess what? Denied. It's clearly an error, so I filed an appeal, and I've got my pay stubs ready, and they said that's all you need. You get your pay stubs ready, and then you go to the appeal hearing, which will probably be like an online thing, and then or your boss can write in, and I already talked to my boss about it too, so it's gonna come through. But the thing is, why did they deny it right away? Like, I got a piece of paper back that says denied because of lack of employment during the qualifying period, meaning they're saying I didn't have a job, even though when I filled out my application I told them I had a job. So they're saying I didn't have a job. They playing some flim flam jokes. You know, it seems to me like somebody back there is just hitting deny, 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 and then they're waiting for the appeals to come back in. And that's where people are going to be getting their unemployment from. People are going to be getting their unemployment from appeals. That's it. Once you get your appeal, then you can start actually into the process of unemployment. But God help us, we don't need to be on unemployment for very much longer. I don't want it. I don't want anything to do with it. And this whole $1,200 bailout thing, I don't really want that. I do feel like I have a strong network of family, friends to support network, right? And when you're a good person and you talk to people, I'm not necessarily a good person, but I think I'm helpful. I may be an asshole sometimes, but I think I do what I have to do. I pay my bills. I pay in with money and with heart and with effort and actual love to almost everything I do. If I make a song, I'm usually putting everything into it. And if I make a decision at work, I'm usually thinking way ahead of it. If I make a plan for me and my girlfriend, I always overthink it. And I put so much into it that it might even be a waste, you know? But that's just the way I do things, and it's always helpful because at the end, when you're literally fucked, there's people who say, hey, I don't want you to die. We'll help you. And there's probably a lot of folks out there who aren't getting very much help. They're wondering where everyone's at. They're saying, yeah, times like these, you see who your real friends are, and all that. And I always like to turn things around. I like to say it's times like these when you see if you've been a good friend or not, right? Times like these, you see if you've actually been a good friend to people or if you've just been kind of a nobody. And because if you have been a good friend, lots of people are going to let you know that and they're going to help you. But if you've been just shitty, you're going to probably be on your own through a lot of this. And I always like to do backwards thinking. It just makes more sense to me to get both sides of the story. Like with my cat here, I'll tell you about some backwards thinking. People have a complaint with me, some of my loved ones, and they say that I pay more attention to my cat and that I love my cat more than I love people or that I love anybody else. And guys, that's not true. I love everybody, and my cat literally gets fed by me in the morning. I pet her when she comes to me. That's the key. When she comes to me, this cat's always coming to me. It's not that I love my cat more than anybody in the world. It's that the cat loves me more than anybody else does. Everybody else is just kind of like, really? Because we're involved in this life with you. It's like, yeah, but just because we're on a ship doesn't mean that you love me. It doesn't mean I love you. It doesn't mean that you enjoy seeing me. Although I know that with most of the people I know, we do enjoy seeing each other. And that is, even though everybody has arguments, everybody has disagreements. When you got somebody that you can't wait to see, even though you just argued with them recently, you got something. And when they can't wait to see you, even though, y'all just argued, then you got something. I'm lucky enough that I haven't been completely alone through all of this, but it's not like I haven't felt the loneliness. I have felt the loneliness because I don't know exactly what's the status of my life. Like, what's going to happen with the next step? Am I going to be completely alone the running the desert plains, trying to find water in this Armageddon, or am I going to be suddenly going back to work, getting all my shit together, and starting out, with brand new plans with everybody? Is that what am I going to be doing here? We don't know. Nobody knows. It's up in the open, man. Nobody knows what they're going to do. Like, the only people that know what they're going to do is the people that still got jobs, the essential employees right now, essential workers. They're the only ones who know what they're going to do at the moment. Bye, Kitty. She didn't even say bye when she hangs up. There's a lot of people I know, too, that are like that. They just hang up and don't say bye. But no, seriously, like, the essential workers, they're not really feeling a lot of it, except they probably can't get some of the things they need. And they have to worry about finding babysitters and stuff for their kids. They can't go to certain stores they want to go to. But the money's coming in. But this kind of leads us to another question. Like, let's just say, like, society did break down. Let's just say the economy did crash right now, right? I feel bad for people who are fighting right now to get their bank accounts high if all of a sudden their money is going to mean nothing? If all of a sudden the currency rate, the kind of currency we have, like changed, what would be the exchange rate for like the euro or whatever they're gonna call it, and the dollar? What would, if I had a dollar, right? And they're like, okay, dollars are useless now. We're using euros. And then I say, okay, I want to trade my dollar in for a euro. Are they going to say, nope, it's useless? Or are they going to say, oh, okay, it's worth 50 cents each? Or are they going to tell everybody, okay, trade in your dollars now and they'll be 100% matched? What is the, but we don't really know what's going on with anything, to be quite frank. And I've never been quite frank before. I'm usually quite Andy. Why do people even say that? I don't even know why I say to be quite frank, and I say it. And that's something that we have a problem with in this world, too. People saying things that they don't even understand, Like, when in Rome. Some people say that at the wrongest times, man. Like, the wrongest times. Like one time I seen this lady, she was getting jacked up, and there was a bunch of dudes and they were like beating the shit out of her. And me and my homie were walking by and I was like, dude, what do we do? And he was like, when in Rome. And he just like kept walking. I'm like, wait, what do you mean? So we proceeded to beat the shit out of the old lady. But that's back in the bad days, and I apologize to that lady way later on, you know what I mean? Like, I found her and we apologized because I had her wallet. But yeah, just people use the wrong word sometimes, man. You hear somebody and they say, oh, incidentally, I'll be right back. That is not a fucking thing. It's not a thing, but I've heard it said before. Man, it's a doggy dog world. What kind of a doggy dog? A Snoop Doggy Dog world? Boy, it's a doggy dog world out there, right? Oh, no. The saying doggy dog world. It's dog. Look, I'm not even going to say the real saying. I think everybody here knows the real saying, and it's not doggy. There's no doggy. There's a dog. There's no doggy. Right? There's a pussy cat. But they ain't no pussy cat. You feel me? Sometimes you walking down the street and you're super swole and you're just ready like a magnet to attract a couple poussoirs, a couple vajat traps. Just you wait for them to latch on to your biceps and just start hugging and pulling, and they don't show. They don't show at all. Got any idea where this is going? Because I do. It's going nowhere. You're going to end up with some sad, lonely biceps. Your biceps develop eyelashes and start crying. Because guess what? Nobody wants to squeeze them. What you've been doing all your life. Hey, why do we have these huge muscles? Why? I'm not saying I got huge muscles, by the way. I'm just saying that I can lift a log and carry it. I can put a deer on my back and get that shit back to the camp. What am I doing using only my fingers? All I'm using is my fingers and my dick. And sometimes, like, grip hand, It's like sex is the best workout we get, man, Sex is a great fucking workout, for real. For men. I mean, for women, it's only a great workout if you got to really put in an equal amount of work. Because a man's got to put himself up on his weight, lock himself in, ground himself, and then basically push-ups. It's like squats, push-ups, thrusts. You're doing all that shit. And you don't want, you want to keep going until you see, like, the positive reaction, right? Like, till you strike oil and that shit. But at the same time, sometimes you start feeling worked out. You ever flexed out where you're like, and then you pass out? Like, I remember one time I just passed out straight up, head butted my girl right in her nose, and broke it. Passed out right on top of her. Blow! I swear to God, I never saw the X-rays, but I never saw her again either. Oh man, that's one thing. You never got all your ends tied up, and that's why we always end up in the situations that we're in. Like right now, I'm in a situation where I'm talking to nobody. There's nobody here, but I'm talking to you guys, right? And my here you go. Let's see what just happened here. Somebody hit me and they were like, "Hey, I'm gonna talk to you." This is Shelly. Oh, people showing me videos about grocery stores. Nope, you can't see that. You guys, let me get out of this. I'm literally just leaving you guys hanging and waiting. I was talking to somebody, on Messenger. Now, here's one thing: like, what's gonna happen when that goes down? Cause I got a funny feeling that some shit's about to happen. Like, I was hearing some stuff a few years ago about if they shut down the banks or the internet and all that for a little bit, that we got some shit to worry about. I don't really know what we got to worry about other than literally having to become fish out of water and learn how to survive in the open plains. But other than that, what do we got to worry about? Not much, I imagine. I think that as long as we all keep our heads on, then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna just keep my head on a swivel, but on my body. You gotta keep your head on your body, but keep it on a swivel, cause you don't want to go detaching like your dome piece, cause your neck just wouldn't appreciate it. Your neck has its like whole job is to keep your dome piece on. So if you take your own head off, you're basically betraying the trust of your neck. You don't want to do that. You want to make sure that you keep all your shit straight. You want to make sure that especially your shit, you got to keep it straight. You don't want it coming out lumpy and rocky. I mean, you ever seen that meme? It's like, healthy shits, and some of them like got like a broccoli on the side or something, or some of them are broken apart. They kind of look like if somebody found like a broken statue and they put it back together. Like some of them doo-doos look like that. And then you got some of them doo-doos that look just straight up like sand, bro. It looks like somebody went out to the creek or to the beach, took a bunch of sand, and then just dumped it in the toilet. And you look down in there and you're like, man, somebody forgot to flush, but I don't even know. I feel like putting a metal detector over that shit real quick and seeing if somebody dropped a ring in that dookie before I fucking flush it, man. You see good sand like that, you definitely want to go ahead and bust out that MD, that metal detector, baby. Looking for that sacred ore. You know what I mean? I don't know if any of y'all have ever fucked with metal detectors, but I have. I've definitely gone out there with that little thing on. It's like that backwards crooked leg thing. You know how like some guys, they got the thing on their arm because their leg be crooked and they walk with it and it has like a clip here on their arm. That's the same thing the metal detector got. That's the same exact thing, except this one you can swing up in the sky. You don't even have to have a crooked leg to use this shit, because on the end there's some sensitive shit that you don't want to slam on the ground. But I digress. What was I talking about? Where the fuck was I, guys? I mean, shit, dude. I guess that's about. Oh yeah, sex, right? Sex, man. Everybody fucking does it, right? But in times like this, some people are getting better workouts than others. Let me just tell you, man. Some people are shacked up with their bun, and then some people are just kind of like out and about, out of luck. They just have no nookie on the bookie, no nook on the book, no nooks on the books. That's a good way. Yeah, no nooks on the books. But and then there's some of us who get that occasional drop by, that drive by break you off, that drive by Kit Kat, break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar. You know, some of that drop you off a plate like it's fucking Thanksgiving or something. Drop off a plate of that poo swat, whack, 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 poo swat, whack, whack, whack. So you don't have to. Whack. You get that poo swag so you get your mojo back, because when you sitting around just fucking by yourself for a long time, you start feeling depressed, start getting skinny, start looking like Captain America before he got the experiment done. You feel me? When he was like real skinny. But yeah, what was I talking about? I was talking about oh yeah, sex, man. Yeah, that's one thing. Like, people get like real promiscuous, and I was wondering about like couples that got like other people that live with them, like polygamous couples and shit. Like, they gonna really be testing out how much they can stand each other being around. Because I bet you a lot of times a guy will have like 2 wives, but one of them will be out shopping or something while the other one's at home, and they take turns being at home and shit, and they don't really. Because I think they act like they like it right at first, and then eventually they start understanding that somewhere in here they're not getting any of the love that they need in life. But, whatever. I have a problem. I wonder if it's the same thing with women that it is with men. Like, if I was to have a threesome, right, which if I had, that kind of experience, which I'm not going to say if I have or if I haven't, but there's something about seeing another guy nude that just really fucks me up. I can't. It makes me want to like be sick. Like, I mean, it's not really seeing a guy nude. I don't really care about all that, but I don't want to see their feet. That's really the biggest problem right there. Like, I've always had like a problem with feet. I never liked feet at all. I don't want anybody's feet on me. I never wanted anything like that. Like, I probably went all the way back to when, my dad used to be like, hey, get over here. Like, my sisters used to rub my dad's bunions, and I never wanted to do it, Like, get over here and rub my bunions, and I couldn't bring myself to. I remember I did it once or twice, right? I just went over there and got, like, a quick touch, and I was stunned, man. I went into shock, probably. I used up all of my body's, like, happy adrenaline fluid right there, just trying to shake off that terrible feeling. It probably shaped kind of the way I am for the rest of my life, right? But that went into the rest of my life. Like I said, it shaped the rest of my life, but it went into all these aspects of my life. Because I remember one time was having like a real promiscuous sexual experience with quite a few people in one room, and everything was going fine. Everything was going as expected, until I felt somebody's foot touch my foot. Now, I can tell a female foot. It's almost like welcoming. Like, the moment a female foot touches your foot, you want to, like, put your foot over it and like, scoop it in and start rubbing feet. But when a man's foot touches your foot, there's, like, this heat. It's like a satanic shock. It's like, no! So I look down, and sure enough, there is a male foot on my foot. I couldn't take it. So that was another shock that I had when it comes to feet. So, later on, it was like girls would be trying to like attract me with their feet, be like, "Oh, I got my feet out at you. Look, my feet are cute." And I'd be like, "Nah, your feet are feet. They're gross." Actually, it wasn't until very recently that I stopped hating on feet. There's a certain I realized that there is a certain type of foot that's okay. There's a certain type of foot that I don't mind like putting in my mouth, like the whole thing, like trying to get the whole thing in my mouth. I can't really get the whole thing in my mouth, but I gave it a shot. Try to get 2 feet in your mouth. It's not gonna work, man. You gotta be like trained on. You gotta have grown up sucking on shit to be able to get a whole foot in your mouth. Let me just tell you that right off the bat. I almost threw up a couple times when that fucking long toe, that pinky toe, fucking like tapped my uvula or whatever that shit is. Man, I almost fucking earled, bro. That shit would have been nasty. Earling on somebody's feet in the middle of an intimate experience, you'll never get over that shit. There's just some things that happen when you're trying to be intimate that ruin it. I mean, one time I was with this one girl, and we were in the, we were in the room. We just got there to this hotel room, right? And she farted. And I mean, I've heard a fart before. I know what farts are like. And I know sometimes you gotta fart. Sometimes like all that pressure builds up, you know what I'm saying? And you just, especially happens with girls, like if they don't talk for a long time. But they'll start farting eventually if they don't get to like chat. That's why they call their girlfriends, because they gotta like depressurize. But yeah, she farted, man, in the. So I just took her and put her in the bathtub, because there's a deposit on the room. You know what I'm saying? So I put her in the bathtub, and I left to go to 7-Eleven because I wanted to get her a pack of multivitamins. And when I came back, she was gone. You weren't going to bring that romance back. There was no bringing back the romance there, let me tell you. Like I said, sometimes you can really just ruin a whole situation. Got that coffee. I've been trying to drink lots of hot liquids because they say, it burns up whatever might be in your throat. So basically, just burn your throat. I looked up, can you light gas in your throat? And apparently, don't do that. But other than that, if you drink hot liquids, man, make sure they're hot right off the fucking joint, and just get that burner hit. Just make it to where it hurts a bit. Eventually, you start getting addicted to it. If you're like me and you're a masochist and you like pain a bit, you'll start getting addicted to it, and next thing you know, you're just burning your throat with fucking hot liquids. But here's the thing: you're not fucking getting sick. You're not. Viruses ain't living. Anyway, guys, I'm fucking getting out of here. I think I've talked enough, and to be honest, like all that talking about feet, it got me horny. So if I gotta go outside and like take a walk or something, because if I don't, I'll probably fucking go crazy. I might like start whacking off or something and waste the seed. You don't want to waste the seed. Let me tell you, you got to keep it in you. If you don't bust a nut, it'll absorb back into you, and all that testosterone and everything, you'll keep getting stronger and stronger. Believe me, it's true. Save your seed, guys. Save each other too. If you see anybody outside just coughing and hacking or anything like that, just tell everybody to run. And if you like the video, hit like. If you like it, hit like. If you made it through to this part, which I did swear to God, I don't think anybody's made it through this far in any of my videos, but whatever. I hope you guys have a good one. This is TSIME episode 13, and I'm signing out.